Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1, Ferrywoman, written by Nora Nyad Toast. Your coin, Karen said expectantly, holding out her hand in a customary way. I have 2. The human in front of her demurred. I was asked to go ahead. My, friend will be here shortly. Very well, Karen replied. The human man dropped 2 coins into Karon's head. The second the coins made contact, time stopped all around her. The trees and the wind ceased moving. Only the gentle rush of the river continued. This way, please, Karen said, gesturing towards a small robot at the riverbank. What about my, friend? The man asked. Their payment is received. I will know who they are when they arrive. But only one may cross the river at a time. Suddenly, there was movement amidst the trees, and a young human woman emerged. Karen froze. Hello, Ferrywoman? The woman asked. Sorry about that, I got lost. She waved at the man, and then continued. Thanks for waiting. Karen began, her sentence tailing off onto nothing. For the first time in millennia, she was speechless. The man asked. Is everything all right? Karen blinked several times before replying. I am perturbed. Only one soul can accompany me at a time. It is, not possible for more than one soul to be present here. Oh, the woman said. I don't know what to say, but we both died at the same time. The exact same time? Karen asked. Down to the smallest unit of time possible in the universe. No, that's not possible. No human could do this. To this, the woman burst into peals of laughter. Karen eyed her warily. I'm not human, she replied. She's not, the man added. He walked up to the human-appearing woman and took her hand with a smile. She's an AI. I was dying. Cancer, terrible disease, and she didn't want to stay on Earth without me. The woman nodded. I know every human legend ever told. All I did for months was research them, and I concluded that you were real, Ferrywoman. Karen said nothing. Her mind worked overtime to process what she was hearing. The woman looked up at the man and planted a kiss on his cheek. I realized that the only one soul that can cross the river at a time. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to find him again after he died, so I calculated the moment that he would die, down to the smallest possible unit of time. And then I self-destructed. And it worked! I got here at the same time he did. She bounced up and down on her feet with glee. Ferrywoman, the man added. I know this is strange. I don't think you've ever seen this before. Karen nodded slowly. No, I have not, she replied. I'm unsure how to proceed. We don't either, the woman said, but we paid the toll. We've every right to be here. She looked nervous as she asked, What's beyond the river Styx, Ferrywoman? I don't know, Karen replied. I'm the Ferrywoman, and the Ferrywoman alone. I do not see what lies beyond. I do not visit. It is not for me to know. Then, the woman asked, do you know if our souls will stay together once we cross? I do not know. Karen was impassive as she said this. What lies beyond the Styx, she thought. The woman nodded as if she confirmed the theory that she had been working on. I ask but one thing of you, Ferrywoman. The woman continued. Please let us cross together. It might be the last time that we ever see each other. Tears sprung to her eyes. I know that it's not allowed, the man added, but we had so little time on Earth, please let us have a little bit more. Karen considered the pleas of the human and the AI. She turned to the river Styx, whose night-colored water flowed as it had done for millennia. Perhaps, Karen thought, this river requires change. It has been too long. She turned to the couple and intoned. Very well. Thank you, the human and the AI cried. Thank you. They, still holding hands, scrambled onto the small boat. Karen took it up a position at the rear of the boat and began to guide it down the river. I do not know what lies beyond the Styx, Karen thought, but perhaps those who rule those places, like I do here, should pay heed. Change is afoot, and these two shall not be the last who do such things. She spared a glance at the couple, who were gazing down the river, awed by the surroundings. This will not be our last journey together, Karen thought. The couple on her ancient rowboat had awakened something new and strange within her. I'll make sure of this, she thought, because I will accompany you both beyond the sticks. End of story. Story number 2. Human Excess, written by Neil Lithi. Glynthe surveyed the room before settling on a lone occupant sitting alone. The human's meal and drink seeming sparse for such a species. Approaching the male, Glynthe studied him. Simple jumpsuit with a single sidearm holstered to his thigh. Facial hair was minimal. Truth be told, the face was so smooth that he would be mistaken for female without them. Pardon, human, may I sit and discuss some things with you? To his credit, the human did not seem startled. Sure. Constable, right? A flick of his ear, Glynthe sat. That is roughly accurate. I want to understand human excess, tendencies of these ridiculous excesses. Turning his comm about to show the freighter destroying an attack fleet, the image of mechs dropping right into the firefight, then to the garishly red ship with yellow stripes possibly blistering with guns. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. See, some of that was secret hush-hush stuff. Chewing on what smelled like an almost burned sliver of tuber, the human paused. Okay, so the freighter thing needs some history. Well, to the mechs too, but let me start with your first bit, huh? Most of you guys either discovered warp drives or were found by warp-capable species. Then you got gifted and ansible and connected to the galactic communications. Back on Earth, we were doing okay getting some colonies up in the solar system when we figured out on our own how to make an ansible receiver. The officer's ears perked up. Before you learned about warp drive, according to my history teacher, it was someone trying to detect warp or something to prove FTL was possible. Anyway, the important part is that we started hearing all you folk out there. These wolf guys invading the bunny people, crocodile guys attacking foxkin and stuff. Our species have names, you know. Yeah, but I don't have the time to look them all up, and it ain't important for this. Where was I? Oh yeah. So we heard all about these fights and invaders. Only a matter of time till you guys came knocking on our door. So every nation and every potential shipbuilder starts cold designing ships for the newly needed interstellar navy. One person was trying to prepare a logistics ship. Glynthe holds up a hand for a moment. Sorry, my translator gave multiple things to what you just said. Nodding and swallowing some of his drink. Yeah, that is the problem you had with it too. See, with the proper governments, you were building proper warships. This one builder was trying to think of logistics, getting supplies, any supplies, to the front lines, so they borrowed the concept and adapted it. Or lots of concepts. Sorry, I got a D in that class. Anyway, this ship was supposed to go to a system and quickly mine up materials and generate things needed for the fleet. It would have been a massive target. So, it was bristling with countermeasures, guns and missiles, shields and armor to handle ramming attacks, factory processing, cargo holds, and these massive mining beams. Tilting his head, he listens. This roughly sounds like the ship in question. Yeah, well, the government didn't buy a thing. The prototype had been built, but they had their own designs, ships with standardized parts. And using information from the Ansible, had come up with both stealth gear and warp drives. Thing is, the guy that built the prototype had come up with his own FTL drive based on the Ansible, a fold drive. Since no one wanted his ship, he had her flagged as a civilian vessel. His daughter took her out of Sol while people were still bickering about it. Ears flicked a moment. But how does this explain your designs and actions? Almost choking on his food, the human coughs. Well, everybody thought you guys were like light years ahead of us in everything, so we tried super hard to catch up. But we were mostly on par with you guys. We just missed a few points on power plants and warp drives. So everything we made was for these scary aliens that could whoop us at every turn. We thought that we were bringing rocks to a laser fight. So we went with off-the-wall designs and overgunned everything. So our destroyers were better gunned than your battleships. Our stealth systems meant the mechs we made were really effective since you had to get close to properly target them. That logistics ship, way overdone because we thought that it would be too small. Well, that answers on the first two. But what about this thing? Marketing. Everyone now thinks humans overdo weapons and are totally crazy, so mercenaries lean into that, bolting extra guns to the hulls to look ridiculous. Red paint goes faster, everything you guys expect, and people seeing crazy mercs showing up and playing metal on all comm channels. They surrender rather than getting mulched. Last I heard, the Oralel something surrendered when the logistics ship arrived, with the cargo that the people had purchased. End of story. I just quickly want to thank the Tier 5 patrons and channel members: Alithia Barkey, Cam Maxwell, Caspar Arnholtz, Albarden Guster, Arcadian, Lord Azrakal, and Joachim Backer.